So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a busy day in New Brunswick on Thursday for supporters of the Jackie Vautour family. We were expecting some movement by Parks Canada and their affiliates with the RCMP and game wardens and different representatives to a sacred fire that was burning on the ancestral land that Jackie Vautour had stayed on after expropriation of his and other people's lands in 1969 to make the illegal Kouchibouguac Parks Canada location. Jackie's land and that of other citizens and residents of communities, land was expropriated. Now, according to Jackie's son, Edmond Vautour, in a conversation earlier today with this reporter, he noted that Thursday was a bad day. The officers of different shapes, RCMP, Parks Canada, peace officers arrived at the site of the sacred fire that's been there for the last 150 days, and they basically removed the items, arrested members of the Vautour family and supporters, and put blocks of cement 400 to 500 feet long on both sides of the road to blockade access to the area. Now, by blocking the access, this, according to Edmond, blocks the access to his father's burial ground on the site. Now, this is within Kouchibouguac Park. They blocked the highway for a number of hours from 8 a.m. on, and people were diverted from the Point Sapan connector for several hours. Now, according to Edmond, the blockade on Highway 117, people had to take a long detour to reach their family and go to Point Sapan. Now, according to Edmond, Jackie's granddaughter Courtney and supporter of the Vautour situation, Monica Augustine, Ilja First Nation, were charged. Now, Courtney has been put in jail for 5 days, according to Edmond, for not signing a document not to go back to the lands. Now, Edmond, basically in recent months, was put in jail, he says, a while back, when he wanted me to sign the same thing. I would not sign. I spent one night in jail. The next morning, the federal crown prosecutor told Parks Canada to release me with no conditions. And he told me I could go back to the lands. Now, I wonder if the chiefs are going to respond to this because this was an Augustine on the land. And according to Edmond, she had every right to be there. And he's found out as well, they destroyed the sacred fire on process. And they also destroyed the flags that were flying proudly of the Mi'kmaq and First Nation people. Now, Edmond was wondering in many ways if this was a structured response because of how what's been going down there for the last 5 months. To give you a little bit of background, ladies and gentlemen, when Jackie Vautour died a couple of years ago, the family was keeping like a sacred area vital there, but they tore down the what they call the squatter property, and then they went back a second time and bulldozed it again. Now, this was the third attempt by Parks Canada to stop the peaceful protests of the Jackie Vautour family. Now, Edmond and these representatives are, of course, in the midst of negotiations over the status of the Acadian Metis in that region of the province. There will be having upcoming Zoom meetings and information to the media. But Edmond, I had contacted the RCMP in that general vicinity, the Big Cove area, Elzabuktuk, and the officer, the media representative, told me this was a Parks Canada operation that was initiated. It wasn't initiated by the RCMP, but RCMP again offering backup. Now, as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's very fluid. Very little media coverage of this yesterday because the English and French media is not really taking too much of a good look on what's been going on. Although Lac Nouvelle and independent media in the province, including me, are aware of the situation, I did not expect there would be a raid. Well, that's what it was, pretty well a raid. Courtney and the different representatives have been keeping the fire going there for the last 5 months. Did you do it because there was a storm coming in Thursday night into Friday where they wouldn't have an opportunity to move them off the land? Now, Jackie Vautour always claimed that the land was stolen illegally and that the land, they should respect the non-status Acadian Metis who lived for decades there peacefully, going back actually several hundred years. Now, Parks Canada, to me, has it out for the Vautour family. This is the third major raid or major destruction. And to put, if you can see the photos in the podcast here, those concrete pillars they put up, this is sacred land. And Edmo said this could hurt the water table down there because the access of water to the river has been cordoned off, has always been dammed across. So if you go to the area entering Kouchibouguac or where the Jackie Vautour sacred area was, where the fire was, you'll see these concrete pillars. They must weigh several hundred pounds each, if not more, probably a half a ton or whatever. So they went in there at 8 o'clock, and by the evening, the sacred fire and the ancestral protest was gone. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very fluid situation. We're going to update you as we go along. But I want you to do this, ladies and gentlemen. If you listen to the podcast, you support Jackie Vautour, contact your local MLA, contact your local councillor or mayor, and ask for this injustice to stop. All that the Vautour family wants is justice together. The association that Edmo runs in the province on Facebook, Ensemble pour la Justice, they really believe that the Jackie Vautour file is dating now back to 1969. Because Jackie did not want to leave the lands, and the family are taking up his spirit by not wanting to leave the lands and to show that they were always there. Jackie and his family should never have been taken away from that land, neither the other families. It has been deemed illegal since the law has changed, but the expropriation through the collusion of Louis Robichaud and Pierre Elliott Trudeau to make the park. Robichaud is also Acadian Metis, or as Charlie Van Horn called him, a half-breed. He was basically saying this would make work and help the people that were living in Kouchibouguac. But numerous villages and over 2,000 residents were displaced, and this is generational trauma going now almost 4 or 5 decades, if you count the grandkids. So again, arrests were made, people were moved from the peaceful protests, from what our sources are saying, this is probably not the last salvo of the situation. There's leftover charges against members of the Vautour family and their supporters all summer, everything from bringing wood to the sacred site to basically passing by in their car, different members of the family. But Jackie Vautour's remains are on the site, and the remains have been disturbed because he put up those pillars. So as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you support the Jackie Vautour cause and that of the expropriates and the Acadian Metis assemblage, please contact your media, and we call out to any English media, I know French media is covering it, to take up the mantle. We're having a hard time getting CBC English to be consistent on the coverage. We're seeing some coverage with Lac Nouvelle and independent media, but this is a very important time in Acadian and Acadian Metis history. Basically, they're being bullied for something that they're upholding from 55 years ago. Okay? 55 years. This is the longest non-shooting war in New Brunswick history. 55 years. So, I mean, the latest raid, I'm not surprised it occurred. Parks Canada has a lot of explaining to do. And good thing the members of the Vautour family are not violent people, because if this was Lorne or Jacket River to the North Shore with a similar situation, there'd be a problem for sure. I don't think Parks Canada would be going to Lorne or Jacket River or Charlotte doing this bullshit. You know, it's a case of federal and provincial bullying of a bunch of people who know they're right. They're trying to silence the Vautour family, and this is not going to silence them. This is going to make it worse down the road. And please check out Edmond Vautour's group, Ensemble pour la Justice. Talk to your MLA, and maybe write Susan Holt and say, Susan, please help us out. And write to the chiefs in the province and say, listen, I'm worried about this situation because it doesn't reflect the best of the camaraderie of friendship that the autochthone status and non-status has with the Crown. We should have a better relationship. So that's how it stands. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. If anybody wants to reach me in regards to this podcast, you can send me an email at govcarrier@hotmail.com or contact Edmo Vautour, Ensemble pour la Justice. And like I said, let us know that you've been what you think of the situation. We want to hear your voice. More voices will drown out the noise of Parks Canada and the other officials saying what they're doing is right and what Jackie Vautour's, the people or continuing legacy is doing is wrong. Thanks for listening. Bye.